Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to Two Dummies That Just Watch, a sports podcast between friends. This is episode 24, the Ricky Henderson episode, the Willie Mays episode, whichever way you want to look at it. But we are back again. I am one of your hosts, Will Hernandez, and I am here as always with my co-host, Mr. Lee J. Perilla, who is drinking 11% beer. So I'm warning you all now. Don't sue us. Yeah, sir.
¿Cómo estás?
Oh my God, we're already off to a bad start. This is what happens when we're off this week. I gotta say, we were just talking about it before we jumped on about like the days off and stuff, but I have been so this job has been so busy for me that today when I woke up, I almost thought to myself, "What am I going to do with myself today? Because I'm not working." That's how it's kind of felt. I was like, "Shit, man! I got used to this routine for this job, and now
Sometimes
it's
the best
just
thing to do is nothing.
yeah." Well, that was the thing. Like I slept into like 10, then I like took my time getting to go to the gym, and then I was just kind of like you know, not really doing much today. Played some Call of Duty. Uh, what else did I do? A couple of other things. And tomorrow. I'm gonna wake up a little bit more earlier just to kind of get more of the day in. But yeah, today was one of those days where I just like I had to fucking just chill out. So, sir, how are you? You're off this week from
Just a
uh
second job.
the sec. Wait, so you're working parks this week?
Yeah.
Oh
The
fuck.
second job is fine. I mean, yeah, this is second job. That's it.
So are
So tomorrow I
they?
work. Tomorrow I work from home. Friday I work from
I
home. So
was
it's
I
as
was just about to ask you about that. Yeah. Okay.
which is why I'm drinking.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to set up the. Uh, it's gonna be more my son's room because my daughter's about to go to college.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get it together because the furniture's gonna get here Friday. The living room set, and then we bought them a day bed. Um, a dining room set, and then once I punch out tomorrow, I'm gonna go back to the old apartment, try to finish getting the rest of the stuff, throw out the garbage, maybe make one last trip there Wednesday,
And then
and then
that's it, right?
I gotta go to U-Haul Thursday morning because they're actually. Here's a great thing about U-Haul: you don't have to wait for somebody to be there. They do like
Yes, the mobile.
the
Yes, I love
mobile on
that
your app
shit.
now,
Yep.
so you could pick up the
Yeah.
van and all of that with a key
Yeah.
code and all of that. So
It's nice.
the van will probably be ready for us. I rented the van, a dolly,
Okay.
and some furniture covers
Gotcha.
because we moving three not big pieces of furniture, but I don't want it to get scratched up. You know, you just put it over the top.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so we should be officially done by Friday, Saturday.
Nice.
The lights get cut off at the other apartment Friday, so we got to actually be out of there by Friday because I don't
Gotcha.
want to be trying to
Yeah.
move furniture
In the
using like the
dark.
flashlight on my phone or
Yeah.
like the sunlight from outside.
Bro, what did they I'm curious. What did the building say when Mel
I
said
don't
that you
think she's
guys
told
were
them. I don't think she told them
okay?
anything yet.
That's
They're not going
hilarious.
to say anything. They want us. They want her out.
Oh no, that's what I mean. Yeah. That's I'm just yeah. No, I know they want you. They
She's
want
probably one of the last Mohicans that pay the rent stabilized rent.
well, that's what I mean. Like they're fucking
They're ready
chomping
to
at the
jack
bit.
that shit up to $3,000, which is not worth, no matter if they fix it or not. Whatever. More power to them,
Not in that neighborhood.
bro.
To be
There's so
fair.
much. There's watch when you come through. There's so much more here. It's cleaner. It's quieter. The guy's house is nice. You'll see. You'll see. Like I
Yeah.
was telling you too about that collectible spot. It's right. It's like a half a block. I was
Oh,
walking by. I said, "This is a collect." It looks kind of like it could be done over again, but
yeah.
it's whatever. It's
That look
whatever.
that's
I want to go in there because I want to see what
yeah, what he
he
has.
or she considers collectibles or what they have.
Yes.
Because
Right.
once I set up something in the background, I want to see if I can maybe purchase something from them and put it on the shelf or look or
Yeah.
on what I have in my mind.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. Um, yeah, but I have to I'm just trying to think like schedule wise
But
when I can get I'll figure yeah.
we'll figure it out.
So, um Anyway, this is a weekly sports podcast, and we come at you each and every week on the podcast platform of your choice. We will be back again next Tuesday. So look out for episode 25 at that time. And just a reminder to please be sure to follow or subscribe so that you can get the latest podcast downloaded. I was listening, I, I listen to a lot of, like, believe it or not, podcasts about podcasting, which is fucking weird, but you try to learn tips and tricks for whatever growing a show. And apparently, like, earlier this year, Apple did some shit with their downloads and stuff. So it's a reason why people are seeing less downloads now. And I don't know, it's a mess. But apparently, we've got more followers on Spotify. So thank you for those who are listening to us on Spotify. Greatly appreciate it.
The most consistent thing I've heard through just people that do this,
Yes.
and obviously there's certain people that I listen to that are way famous.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
But the most consistent answer I've heard was for anyone to see any kind of like speed or like moving forward is like it
Yeah.
takes at least 2 years.
Yes. Yes. That is true.
That's a consistent I've seen. You
Yeah.
got to try to stick with it. You can't give up. You can't really look at the numbers at the beginning because that's not really going to tell you anything. After 2
Yes.
years, you should see something maybe that you want to see or maybe trending upward.
Yeah.
So
No,
that's
I
the most
agree.
consistent like thing I've heard.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just when you listen to these podcasts about podcasting, they say stuff like that as well. But um, people have already know that I have very little patience, so it's very hard for me to be
That's the
like,
problem, guys. He's
yes,
fucking neurotic.
I'm neurotic. That's what it is. Yeah, I wake up every day thinking I'm gonna get fired from my job. Anyway,
Jeez.
before we kind of go
The
on here,
best remedy for him is just for the whole earth to just blow up,
yes,
and he'll be in a better place.
yeah, we all will be in a better place. We will all be in a better place.
Fucking animal drinks Bloody Marys. What do you expect from this guy?
I'm not even drinking any alcohol right now, so I didn't get a chance to go to the liquor store to get. I'm out of Tito's, so I got to do that tomorrow because I can't go another day. I'm on vacation. I should be
You're
drinking.
supposed to drink when you're on vacation.
Yes, I know. You're right.
100%.
Just not 11% fucking beers.
It's fine.
Oh my! What, sir? I want to know what kind of is this a pale ale or like it's an IPA or what?
It's
What
just
kind of beer is
it's
this?
just a holiday beer that I've seen at the supermarket. At the supermarket I work at.
So what's it
part-time,
called again for the rest of the class? So the rest of the
the
class,
Mad Elf.
the Mad Elf.
It's
Interesting.
uh
Let me see. I'm gonna look it
how
up
would
right
I
now.
spell this? How would I pronounce this? I'm sorry. Troegs
I'm looking
Independent
it up.
Brewing. Troegs. But there's 2 dots over the O.
Oh yeah, it's German. Yeah,
Yes.
that's German.
Yes. So it's a holiday beer. We get it. We get it every year around Christmas time, obviously.
Oh, guess what? They're based in Pennsylvania.
Look at that. Yep.
Belgian. It's a Belgian a Belgian dark strong ale. I don't like
So
beer
it's
like that.
I don't see this when they put these flavors on these bottles. I don't taste these things. I just taste good beer, bad beer. It
I
says
know.
It says cherries and honey. I don't get that, but all right.
Interesting. That
Well, I
doesn't
know it's
say that
11%,
here.
and after I'm about to be on number 4.
Yeah,
It's
we're
nice.
gonna.
It's
Yeah,
party time.
yeah. Okay. Ah, Jesus Christ. Good thing this is gonna be a shorter episode this week. We did this on purpose, by the way. Before I knew Lee J was going to be 3 beers deep into a fucking 11% beer. Anyway, before we go on, I just want to remind people of just kind of the latest episodes. Last week we took a deep dive on the NFL quarterback problem. That was episode number 23. Believe it or not, I actually put a clip on that on LinkedIn because I talked about ChatGPT. And anyway, I mixing my personal and professional life. 2 weeks back was episode 21, and that was the recap of the Yankee season with my good buddy, our friend, Mr. Larry Fleischer. And just a quick reminder, we are on social media, Instagram, Threads, X, and if you're using and YouTube, If you're on Blue Sky, because that's all the rage right now,
Blue
I am
Sky.
on.
This is
Yes.
see, this is, ladies and gentlemen, like I've told you before, this is his wheelhouse, because I have the only blue sky I know is the one when I step outside every morning. If the sky is blue and there's no clouds, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
So I am on. It's just me on Blue Sky. So if you want to go, but here's the thing with Blue Sky, I am tweeting about everything. I'm tweeting about my job. I'm tweeting about pro wrestling, and I'm tweeting about sports. And I will be posting clips of this podcast on Blue Sky as well. But just look up my name, just Will Hernandez. I'm on Blue Sky as Will Hernandez, and it'll come up. So that's all you need to know. We're not going to be. I don't think this podcast itself will be a account for Blue Sky because it's too much. It's too much social media. I can't keep up with all this shit. So anyway, so here's what we're doing this week, because our favorite football teams suck, and I feel like I want this to be honestly the last time we take a deep dive on either of these teams. We're still going to talk about them week to week. That's not even a question. I just want to put all this stuff out there into one episode and just we'll talk about this past week, and then we're going to do a little fun thing later on where we'll do our picks, by the way, for NFL. And then we're going to do a little fun thing where we're going to be the GM. Lee J is going to be the GM of the Jets, and I am going to be the GM of the Giants. And we are going to tell you guys what our wish list is for what we would do if we were GM for a day for our respective favorite teams. By the way, this is a interview for Lee J because the Jets don't have a GM right now, and right now the way the Giants are going, they might not have one either. But I digress. Let's get into the Giants first, and forget about yesterday. They lost 30-7 to the Buccaneers at the Meadowlands. Everybody's all pissed off because Baker Mayfield was making fun of Tommy DeVito. I saw one comment on Instagram about this, and the guy was like, "Oh, you're making fun of a third string quarterback. Congratulations." Here's the thing, though, brother. This is a third string quarterback that people were putting on a pedestal as like the next best thing in the NFL. So you know what? The mocking is kind of deserved. But I want to go through the timeline last week because a lot of stuff happened from the time that we stopped recording until Friday, I should say. So let's talk about this as we go through this timeline that I actually found, by the way. So on November 18th, which was last Monday, and we talked about this, right? We talked about this last week. So this is not new. Daniel Jones got benched, and Tommy DeVito got named the starter. Okay. That was the beginning of the end because you and I said on this podcast, that's it. Daniel Jones' career is over. I kind of said that tongue in cheek, to be honest with you, because I didn't think what was going to happen was going to happen. What happened later in the week. Here goes the shit show now. The next day, Dexter Lawrence comes out and publicly disagrees with the benching and says that, by the way, these guys got drafted in the same draft. If you remember, 2019. He's still the best quarterback on the team, and Daniel Jones. That's November 19th. November 20th, the next day, Drew Lock is confused why he's not the starter of this team. And we were confused as well, but Lee J said, if you look at Drew Lock's contract, there were incentives. And in this article, here we go. When looking at Lock's incentives, that could be what prevented him from ascending atop the depth chart.
I
Lock
have
would
another
receive.
theory. I have another theory on that too.
Oh,
After I
good.
thought
Go ahead.
about it,
Go ahead. What's the other one?
I I think that the Giants think that DeVito they don't have as much confidence as you think they do in DeVito. He thinks that he's their best chance to lose.
I agree
As
with
much
that.
as the fans think that Drew Lock stinks, which It's fair because that's all you hear. But I think if they put, I'm thinking if they put Drew Lock in, is there a better chance to win, which is what they don't want to do.
Right, exactly. No, I agree. I think that was pretty evident from
That's what I think. That's just my
yeah.
opinion.
I mean, well, that was where my mind went to when they named DeVito the starter. It was like, oh, okay, that makes sense because DeVito's just not a good quarterback. So why take your chance with the backup who's probably better, who can probably win a couple of more games, and then you're fucking screwed as far as the draft pick is concerned. So, anyway, Thursday, November 21st, Dable responds to Lawrence's comments.
When was the 21st? Is that a Wednesday?
That's Thursday.
Thursday.
That
Okay.
was on Thursday. So that this happens on Thursday. This is what Dable said.
Yeah, Thursday. Yep.
Yeah. Dax and I have a good relationship, and I respect. I'm sorry, Dex. Dex and I have a good. Dax, I'm thinking wrestling. Don't. I'm not gonna go there. Dex and I have a good relationship, and I respect Dex a great deal. We were just talking a little while ago, not about that, but again, everybody's gonna have certain opinions. I got a lot of respect for all of our players. I think we're focused. We're all focused, and do what we need to play our best against Tampa Bay. We saw that way. Dayball added, I got a lot of confidence in our locker room. We got a close knit group. Obviously, not what we want to be with the record, but I have a lot of confidence in the players and the coaches and the chemistry that we have. We got to have a good week and get ready to play Tampa. Clearly, something happened that they didn't have a good week. I don't even know. Now, so later on that day, this is where shit starts to get weird because you got Daniel Jones out there playing safety
Oh yeah, and the
on
practice squad. Yeah,
on the scout team.
scout team. Sorry.
Yeah. What? Like what
See, when
is
you do
going
stuff
on?
like,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Come on.
see, when you do stuff like that, I feel like you're making a. It's like a mockery, man. It's like why did you have to do that for? I also think that they made this decision. They could have made this decision way earlier in the week.
Yeah, they
So
could have.
everybody doesn't look like they have like egg all over their face. Daniel Jones feels the way he does. Listen, don't get me wrong. I don't feel sorry for Daniel Jones. He has generational wealth. Yada yada yada. You know, whatever, whatever. I do feel bad for him in an aspect of, this was a last minute type of thing. No one needs to be done like that. This
Yes,
could have been
I
done at the
agree.
beginning of the week. They waited to almost the end of the week. Tommy DeVito don't find out till I think they said the weekend, maybe Friday or Saturday. Like, we'll get into it a little later though, because I got a couple other things to say. But this is becoming a quick joke. And what you guys keep saying that they got another year, I think they should be axed right now. See
I
ya.
agree.
Get out of here.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, it's funny because Carl and I were talking about it over text when this all went down, and he basically said almost the same thing as you did. Why drag him through the week like this? This should have been done during the actual bye week.
The bye week. You had the time. You guys knew what you were thinking about. You and like I said, I don't think anyone should be. Everyone knows it's a business,
Sure.
yada yada yada. But no
Yeah.
one should be done like that. And then he's doing, safe. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Eh,
It's bad. It's a
it's
bad look.
bad. It's bad. This is just Jersey football sucks.
It's a bad look, and the other thing too is it speaks to what I keep on saying about the Giants trying to come off as this like classy organization, and it just doesn't happen. So after practice on Thursday, Jones met with the reporters and he wrote a statement, and this was basically his goodbye. He knew what was going to happen the next
Mm-hmm.
day, and this is what it says in part of it. The opportunity to play for the New York Giants was truly a dream come true, and I am extremely grateful. Dot 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 for the chance to play here, Jones said. The Giants are truly a first class organization. No, they're not. And I have nothing but genuine respect and appreciation for the people who built it and who helped carry on the tradition. That's a lie. I met so many specialty people and created relationships that will truly last a lifetime. Thank you, all my teammates, coaches, and staff that have done so much for me these past 6 years. They have been some great times, but of course, we all wish there had been more of those. Now we get to Friday. Apparently, Daniel Jones walks into John Mara's office on Friday morning and he asks to be released. And then the Giants that morning before noon, they put out a statement from John Mara. Daniel came to see me this morning and asked if we would release him. We mutually agreed that would be best for him and for the team. Daniel has been a great representative of our organization, first class in every way. His handling of this situation yesterday exemplifies just that. We are all disappointed in how things have worked out. We hold Daniel in high regard and have and have a great appreciation for him. We wish him nothing but the best in the future. And that's it. Jones goes 24-44-1 as the team starter in 69, that's what she said, regular season
69.
starts. He's going to be subject to waivers. Once he clears that, which I don't know if he has or
Yeah, I think
not.
he cleared waivers today at like around 4.
Okay. Which is likely he's free to sign now with any franchise that's going to have him. So, do you have anything to say about this Daniel Jones timeline before we kind of move on to the next thing here?
Yeah, I think they did him dirty, man. Just for taking so long, they could have handled it a little bit better. Listen, we've been saying this for a very long time. You and I both, a lot of fans. It's everywhere. I don't know. They got duped by that 1 year of the playoffs.
Absolutely.
The, I'm not an expert. You can call me whatever you want. Mock me. I don't really care. I have my opinion. I've seen it for a long time. The guy wasn't it. The only question you should have as an organization, there's only one question you ask yourself as an organization when you draft a quarterback. What's that question? Can this guy win us a Super Bowl? I never saw that. I never
Oh,
thought
no.
that.
Absolutely not.
You play as who said that? Herm Edwards. You play to win the game. You play
Right.
sports to win the championship. I never saw this guy doing that. And then he got hurt the year after, came back this year, and people still to this day, still with the excuses. Let me say something real quick, and
Sure.
it's not. I'm not here to bash the Giants because I'm in no I'm in no place to bash the Giants. I'm a fucking Jets fan or bash Daniel Jones. But everyone, just for a second, really think about this for a moment. Everyone out there, whoever's listening, whoever gets to hear this, who was the last quarterback that got 6 years, got six different, let's just say 6 different chances per year to get it right, and they just never did. No matter what the excuses, O-line, no receivers, because guess what? There's been plenty of quarterbacks that don't have an O-line, and they're gone after 2 years. No receivers, gone after 2 years. This guy got 6 years. I don't feel bad for him in that aspect.
No, I don't.
He couldn't get it together. I just didn't see this right now, like, boom, here it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. I'm going to read you our brain dead. We
Oh,
need to
that
get this
guy?
going. Yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
saw a lot of this shit. So here, I'm not even going to say the name,
Yeah,
but
don't.
this is, I forget. I don't know if this was on Facebook or Instagram. This is the brain dead comment of the week this week, guys. And I saw many of these types of comments on Daniel Jones. I'm going to read this. When you get out of New York and get your confidence back, you'll do fine. No one could have played a top level with no what I'm sorry. No one could have played at a top level with all the negativity that surrounded you. Another team with coaches that know how to pick a defense apart, a good offensive line, and receivers that can actually run correct pass patterns and catch the ball will do wonders for you. Can't wait for you to make the Giants look like fools.
And that person
You know,
sounds more like they're blaming the GM and coach as far as
yeah,
not getting him. But if you look at like we always say, look at the analytics as everybody wants to follow. They were up there in, pass protection, this, that, the third. The guy was missing he wasn't throwing the ball to open receivers. Come on, guys. Come on,
yeah.
guys. Enough with the excuses with this guy. He had 6 years. 6. No one has those many chances. Let's go to the Jets real quick so we could just compare because that's all we have. All we have is the Jets and Giants in football. here in New York. Sam Darnold, 2 years. Zach Wilson, 2 years. Mark Sanchez, after those two AFC championships, see ya. The only like consistency there was when there was Chad Pennington was here, a
Hmm.
little bit of Ken O'Brien. We're going back a little bit now. These other guys, 2-3 years, they're out of here. They're out of here. Forget about if your offensive line sucks, if you have receivers, if you don't have receivers, everybody. This guy's 6. Come on, guys. 6 years. You're not being fair. And I'm not here to bash the guy. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm not doing it.
Right.
But come on, man. Come on. Come on.
I was trying to find it on Instagram, but I couldn't find it. But there was another similar comment to where somebody was saying, "Oh, all this negativity surrounding Jones," and I answered back because I was just getting like, "These people are just fucking. You people are stupid." I answered back. So negativity has nothing to do with the fact that you were missing open receivers,
Yeah,
that you were
that's
going down
no,
to your
yeah,
checkdowns
exactly.
too
Yeah.
quickly, fumbling the ball, diving instead of sliding. Like that's not negativity. That's just the type of quarterback that we were dealing with here for 6 years, and that's it. I mean, it's over. It's over, guys. That's it. It's time to move on, and we're gonna
It's
get into
definitely time
that.
to move on because he's been cut. He's
Yeah,
now a free agent.
exactly.
Stop. It's over. They made the right. Even if Daniel Jones goes on to have like a second decent career with somebody else as a starter, the Giants still made the right decision.
Absolutely.
It was
Yeah.
time to move on. It was time to move on. You made that playoff that just ask yourself this. You made that year in the to the playoffs. You beat Minnesota, got the doors blown off against
2
the
years
Eagles.
ago.
That's fair. That's fair. No one expected them to beat the Eagles. The Eagles were a lot better than them. But here's this. No one expected them to beat the no one expected them to make the playoffs that year, correct?
Correct.
You came back the following year, you quote unquote got better in certain aspects of the team. You didn't get worse because you pretty much kept the same guys, but you got worse. And then you
Yeah.
got more players this year, O line, more receivers, and you got this is not a word, but you got worser, right?
Yeah.
Does that make
Yeah.
you know, like that's the writing on the wall? Like if your team got better, because everyone said that team that made the playoffs shouldn't have made the playoffs. That's not what we expected, but they did. But then you
Hmm.
got better talent wise the following 2 years, and you got worse from that year when you had less talent. Wake up and, as they say, smell the coffee.
I mean, to me, is that not on the coaching staff?
That
I mean, I
too.
don't know.
And enough with this guy with the quarterback whisperer. I'm tired. Dayball, enough. So whoever gave him that title, take it away. Because guess what? Josh Allen would have did this without him anyway. Eventually, he would have did this. Enough with this guy with the quarterback. I'm tired of hearing that quarterback whisperer. Stop. Enough. Enough.
So let's talk a little bit about yesterday very quickly because it leads into something else that happened yesterday and spilled over into today. We said it. Giants lose 30-7 against the Bucks on Sunday. So after the game, listen, I'm gonna and Eric, I know you're listening. This is one thing I kind of disagree with you on because you talked about how Neighbor should just keep his mouth shut because he's a rookie. He's a rookie that's getting paid a lot of money, and he's considered one of the best players on this team. I think he has a right to be able to say what he's got to say. And the other thing too, the reporters were asking him questions. I mean, it was just a situation that he was in. So after the game, for those who are unaware, Neighbors just, I mean, tore a new one to the coaching staff. So here's what he says. Go out there first, second quarter, don't get the ball, Neighbor said Sunday. Start getting targets at the end. I mean, can't do that. Start getting the ball when it's 30-0. What do you want me to do? So Neighbors finished with 6 catches on 9 targets for 64 yards all in the second half. Um, this is an ESPN article. He was left unsure what happened in that disastrous first half and why he didn't get the ball. I don't know, Neighbor said. Go talk to Dayball about that. Um, So Dayball apparently spoke to neighbors yesterday evening and spoke to him again today to kind of, I guess, try to clear the air. But here's something that somebody said, and this was kind of what was going on yesterday, was that maybe Daniel Jones wasn't really the problem. And listen, the Buccaneers outgained the Giants 450 to 245 in yardage. Where the fuck was the defense yesterday?
Saquon Barkley had more yardage from scrimmage.
Which is insane. I'm not even going to get into that. I don't even want to beat that dead horse anymore. But here's the thing. I guess we could talk a little bit about this now. I don't know how Dayball and Shane keep their jobs after this season. And I understand that Mara might not want to make a change because you don't want to keep on doing this every 2 to 3 years. But guess what? We talked about it. What did you say? At the end of the day, look at what the record is. Look at what the record is. It's bad. And it
It's
was bad
bad.
last year. So I guess my question to you, what do you think? Do you think, and I saw some of the scuttlebutt today after, some of the stuff today, was that it's looking more and more like they're going to clean house after the season. Uh, do you think that needs to happen? I think I know what the answer is, but has your feelings changed that they have to
No,
clean house at this point? Okay.
no, and I'll a lot because I'll go by a lot of the comments yesterday. First of all, that team came out off a bye week,
That's a great
lacking.
point. Yeah.
Like, did they know they were playing a football game yesterday?
That's a great fucking point. I didn't think about
Did they
that.
know they were playing a football game yesterday? Then you got Dexter Lawrence coming out making comments about just listen to what he's saying. He's, to me, indirectly talking about the coaching staff. Brian Burns, he was asked a particular question. What did he say? He said something like, "That's just ass."
Jesus.
Malik Neighbors, same thing. Ass Dayball. Listen, all we kept on hearing was these guys got another year because they got to pick their guy. All right, I let's play devil's advocate. I understand it too. I understand that point because you know
I
what?
do.
When you bring
Yeah.
in a new regime, they want to play with their guy. But guess what? When that goes out the window, when you lose the locker room, and it seems like it's treading down that path,
Hmm. I agree.
like I watched about because her and I were doing some stuff with the movie yesterday. I watched the first half essentially, and I was just like, "What is happening here?" Let me. Todd Bowles used to be the coach of the Jets,
Right.
and one thing about Todd Bowles when he was a DC and as a head coach calling the defensive plays because I think he did it with the Jets and he's doing it with Tampa Bay. What does Todd Bowles always do when he calls his defenses?
You tell
He
me.
he blitzes.
Mm,
That's his thing.
gotcha.
Now, me, as an independent observer of football, if I know that, you should know that.
Right.
It looked like they had no idea what was going on yesterday.
It's
Blitzing
bad.
that, that they're like what and neighbors is like I'll play devil's advocate with that too, with the Eric comment and then your comment.
Hmm.
I understand what Eric's saying because he is a rookie. Sometimes they don't give the rookies that leeway because they also say, they don't know what they're talking about. Blah blah blah. Yada yada yada. They also say let the veterans handle that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But in the aspect of he didn't start getting the ball until he was down 30-0.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Who cares? So if you want to listen, all I heard at the end of this year, all I heard at the beginning of this year was, "Thank you, Jesus. Dayball's the play caller. Oh my God, it's gonna be so much better." Is it that much better? I ask you, is it that much better as a Giants fan?
It
Play
is not.
calling?
I don't see anything that's making me think that he's a genius at all.
So what are we doing here? And it sucks because I'm a big component of this recycling. Somewhere up top, something's not connecting in these interviews. to where like I don't know what it is. I don't think people ask or maybe not asking the right questions.
Do you mean
So,
when they're interviewing the coach
cause
for the job? Okay,
yes, when they interviewing who they want to bring in as coach or the next
I see.
GM.
Right.
I feel like you know what the best thing for like maybe an owner to do or something. Don't ask football questions. Ask just
Mm,
general questions of like if you were in a tough predicament in life, how would you handle? I don't know. I'm just thinking of. I was just thinking of these things
yeah,
today as I
sure.
was reading the format that you laid out, and I was like, what if that would work? You know why? Because I feel like these coaches and GMs that are trying to get jobs, they generally get asked the same questions in interviews, so they
They-
kind of know the cliche answers or
Sure.
what the order want. Try to switch it up for them. Like, what would you do in this situation, just in general in life? Maybe they'll get a
Interesting.
better perspective of who they are or what they want to try to bring in. I
Yeah.
don't tell me what you want to do on 3rd and 2 on the goal line. I don't care. Everybody knows what you want to do. You want to get the 2 yards and you want to score. Period. Stop. There's no technical answer to that.
What do you do when you're facing adversity?
Yeah, like I want to hear like a real life question. I want to hear how you answer that. I,
No, I agree.
I
Yeah.
just I don't know bro. Seriously, bro. We joke around, we laugh, we go to my number one spot, Jake's Dilemma. We have fun. I don't know what's happening here, man. The Giants, the Jets since 2010, the Giants since 2011. This is horrific.
Yeah, it's
All
bad.
jokes aside, this is bad. You know, I get pumped up for every football year because you know football is like it's a different it's a different way of thinking when it comes to sports. You
Yeah.
know, you already know me. I get amped up, blah blah blah, da, 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 da. And then we have this at halfway point of the year. Jets 3-8, Giants 2-9. What the fuck, man? I really wanted Eric to win money. I never met Eric in my life, and this guy I seem like he's a really cool dude. You know why? Because he's a friend of yours. So that's how I take it. And Eric, I know you're listening. You're gonna listen. I hope to meet you one day shortly. I'm gonna go to Atlanta because I need to knock that park off my list. With that being said, this is a shit show, man. It's not even funny anymore. What are we supposed to say as fans? Like, come, oh my, it's gross. It's gross. And I'm just trying to keep it as a like an opinion. Like, I'm not trying to bash the Giants. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to give an opinion about what's
Right.
happening
Yeah.
here
Yeah. Yeah.
within New York football. This is atrocious, man. Atrocious. Oh
Well,
boy.
let's talk about. I'm done with the Giants right now. Let's talk about the other shit show
Mm.
on the other side of the stadium. Because even
I
though the
was hoping
Jets,
you would forget about that.
no, come on. Even though the Jets had a bye week
I think they
this
lost.
yeah, yeah. Well, if you read the headlines, dude, I here's the other thing. I'm going to say something also quick before we jump into the Jets, and this has to do with the Giants as well, and just the media reporting. As a former sports writer, I've never seen so many different reports on each of these teams in my life that just turn out to be just like plain wrong. I don't know if anybody's ever going to listen to this, but y'all need to get your shit together, get better sources, or just don't report anything at all because this is getting fucking ridiculous. Anyway, so the biggest rumor, there are a couple of things that happened supposedly this week. I don't know, depending on who you believe and which way the wind is blowing on any given day, was that the Jets were either like looking to get like release Rodgers or put him on IR or God fucking knows what they were gonna do. The second thing is you got fucking Woody Johnson coming to practice in a goddamn helicopter.
I saw that today.
Like it's something out of fucking like Die Hard. And like Joe Douglas supposedly turned to Ulbrich and said, "Well, if they get rid of me, it's been great serving with you." And guess what? They took him off the field and they fucking shot him out back. What? This is like Doctor Evil type of shit that what happened with this coming in the fucking like it's Wilpon shit. It's like Vince McMahon shit. Like what the fuck is going on? Honestly, I don't know which organization right now is worse,
Pick
the
your
Giants or the
poison.
Jets.
The
Yeah,
other thing I was seeing
seriously.
about Rogers was like he's denying CAT scans and stuff or whatever, X-rays,
Yes, that was the other thing.
because he
Yes,
knows he's hurt.
I did
And they
have
know
that
they're going
open
to take him
here.
out of the game.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's what was this is from Yahoo Sports. So apparently, Aaron Rodgers, who has been described as banged up, quote unquote, banged up for the past few months, has reportedly been resisting medical scans offered by the Jets. According to Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, Rodgers hasn't wanted to quote reveal the severity of his injuries out of fear of having to come off the field. So let's just apparently here's the thing. It's possible that these injuries of unknown severity are what's preventing him from playing better. The 40-year-old is coming off. We already know about that. Okay, here's the other thing. Apparently, his knee was a bit swollen after the week 4 game, right? Uh, but according to Rappaport, Rodgers also sustained a significant hamstring injury
Hamstring.
that he insisted on playing through. A week later, he sustained a low ankle sprain against the Vikings. Then in week 7, the hamstring issue flared up again. He has played through all of these injuries, and there are 6 fucking games left. I don't see how this man is back to the next year. I think he's done. I think he knows
Shout
that.
out to Boomer Esiason, and he called us a few weeks ago that he thinks that he was hurt and it was his hamstring without knowing anything. He said it on the radio show. And you just look at him, he's limping, he's doing this, he's doing that. Your ego is so. This is exactly what Brett Favre did.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They started 8-3. Brett Favre ripped up his shoulder. He was still trying to play. They wound up losing the rest of the games and not making the playoffs. You're a detriment.
Yeah.
Because your ego is too big. This is a. I'm going to always watch. Listen, guys, I talk shit. I love football. There's just the aggression. People love that. People feed off that adrenaline, all of that kind of stuff. But this is just, I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, this is just, oh my God.
Well, I think
this owner, Winnie John, doing the things listen,
that
dude,
was what I was gonna. That's what I was
stick
gonna
to
tell.
baby powder and baby oil, and then call P Diddy.
Jesus Christ,
that's what you're good at.
Oh my God!
And like I was talking to my coworker today because we were talking about the Jets. These guys that own teams, they're about business, and here's why. They don't understand the difference between owning a team and their businesses they started that they've been successful at that made them billions of dollars. I'll give you a quick example. Let's just use Woody Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Baby powder, all these baby products, baby lotion,
Yeah,
it all worked.
Johnson. Yeah,
whether it smelled good, whether it was good on somebody's skin. People are going to always buy that because you're not going to change that. That's what worked. When you own a team, it's not one component of anything. There's different personalities, different just aspects of all. It doesn't work that way where this quarterback is good, the whole team's going to be good. That's not the way it works. It takes time. You got to let the people that you hire do their job. And listen, I'll defend them a little bit here. Listen, Joe Douglas and Saleh had time. They almost lived out their contracts, right? To be fair. But at the same time, if you're meddling, you want the Rodgers bench in the week 4. You didn't want this guy here. You didn't want that guy here. I experienced that with the Knicks and James Dolan. Why are the Knicks doing well now?
Because he's staying out of it.
Because he's staying out of it, and he's trusting the people that he hired. If you don't trust the people you hired, then do it yourself and don't hire these people. It doesn't make any sense. You coming in on a helicopter. Come on. When I heard that, I started laughing at my desk today. I was like, this is comical. I just envisioned this whole thing like, they are eating the pets.
Jesus Christ.
I'm here. Mr. Douglas, come to my office. Yeah, your fat ass got to go. Get you and your family out of Jersey. I hate all of you.
Well, did you see what apparently he said in the aftermath about like how he didn't like working with Woody Johnson because apparently Woody Johnson was a shit show and like he's now at peace that he's no longer with the Jets.
I'm happy for him. Listen, he had some good drafts. He had some bad drafts. He tried. Now I'm starting to think that Woody Johnson didn't really let him do his job. That's just my opinion.
Mm,
That's just my opinion.
very Steinbrenner-esque.
He fired Salah. I told you from the beginning, I don't feel Douglas knew anything about that. He just fired him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Clear as day now.
Now I'm starting to think that, hold on, you told me to bring in Rodgers. Now you want me to bench him? What? And do what? Listen, when the owner takes control and tries to scorch earth, it never ends well. And here we are.
Well, you better hope he gets fucking named ambassador to the UK.
No, I'm wishing worse than that, and I'll keep it at that.
Sir. Jesus Christ. Wow. Let's see. How old is he?
And all you fans out there sell the team, stop it.
77.
He's not selling the team. Stop.
No, he's not selling
Get
the
over
team.
it. Get
He's
over
not
it.
selling
He's
the
not
team.
doing that.
I mean, it's. I hate to say it, and we know this well because we have grown up in the era of Jerry Jones, and we know my brother being a Cowboys fan. It Some of this stuff almost seems Jerry Jones esque. It seems Fred Wilpon esque. The way he's inserting George Steinbrenner esque. The way he's inserting himself into the situation. When the fuck do we hear from the Roonies?
No, never.
Right?
Because
I mean,
they
seriously.
trusted the people they freaking hired.
Right? Yeah. When do you hear from? I don't even know that. What it's. I think it's an older woman that owns the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
We never hear from her. And guess what the Chiefs are doing? I mean, by the way, yesterday was, it was just a little because I didn't watch the game yesterday. I was out and about. I actually went to Home Goods yesterday, guys. Believe it or not, I was so out of the loop with football that it was actually nice, and I didn't realize that the Chiefs won by a field goal. But anyway, yeah, I don't hear from the Chiefs. You hear from Mark Davis. Think
But
about the
this
people we
but this goes
hear
back to
from.
like
Yeah,
one of our very first episodes. What did I say? There's a reason why the same teams draft in the
right.
top
Yeah,
15.
yeah,
In the top, there's a reason for that.
yeah. Exactly.
There's a
Yeah.
reason for that. Whatever reason you want to give, there's a reason for that. It's not complicated. 2 plus 2 is always 4. But if you want to tell me 2 plus 2 is 5, I'm going to tell you, sure, it's 5, and then I'm going to walk away. And I'm going to let you believe what you want to believe. It's stupid. I feel like I'm not saying football is easy, and that's not what I'm saying. From top to that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is I think they make it too complicated
Yeah.
for
I
no reason.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make you could just relate it to anything. My job on the lowest level, whatever. If you gonna continue to be like helicopter mom, what the fuck did you hire me for?
Mhm.
What did you hire me for? I've been here so long. You should entrust in me and that I know how to do my job. And after a while, if the job is not being done according to your standards or what you want to see, then you know what? People should have to be fired and moved on. I get that. But you can't be helicopter mom, tell them to do something, they do it and it doesn't work, but then they're at fault. That doesn't make sense to me. But obviously he's the owner, he could do whatever he wants. I get that. This is just a debacle that is just, and people are still saying the Jets still have a chance.
No, stop.
I'm like,
Stop.
shut up,
Stop.
shut
Stop it.
up, shut up.
Stop. That's ridiculous. Here's the problem with this ownership thing though. Why as a GM, as a potential candidate or whatever, why would I want to come to New York and deal with that shit? If this is what is actually happening, if he is meddling this much, why do I want to put myself into that situation where my decisions are not mattering at the end of the day? So that's something else now you have to ask yourself going forward, especially as Lee J does his interview here a little later on. But before we get to that, we are going to do picks this week. So
Dun, 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 dun.
let's get those out of the way before we go into our little I guess role playing session here about being a GM for our respective teams. And hold on a second. Okay. So I'll go first. I, I don't even know what to say about this game on Thursday. I I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. They are favored in this game at minus 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
So going with the home team, gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys. Sir, your pick for that game.
Oh man,
This shit bowl.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Oh God. Don't
Yeah, I
do
really
this.
can't believe I don't really know why, but I'm gonna. God, God hates me. I'm gonna go with the Giants. I don't know at plus 3.5. I don't know. I can't give you a reason why. No, I'll give you a reason why.
Go ahead.
I feel like I feel like take the coach off the table. I feel like the players know just after, especially after all their comments this week.
Hmm.
They just know something's got to happen here. I don't think they're gonna win the game, but I think it's gonna be like something like 27-26, 27-25, something like that, and they'll cover and they'll be good. That's what I think.
Okay.
That's my only reasoning. If you wanted me to give you an answer, that's my answer. I just
That's fine.
I picked the Giants. I don't know why. It kind of like remember when we said when the Jets played the Texans on Thursday night, we were like, I don't know why they were picking them, but I feel like they're gonna win. This is kind
I
of
was
like
just,
the same scenario type of thing here.
I was just,
That's what I'll give
yeah,
you.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, this is like one of the Texans, that game. Okay. So the Jets are home. Remember when we thought we were going to go to this game at one point?
God.
The Jets
The only
are
reason the
home.
only way I would have went to this game if they would have won the last two games, and then I was gonna text you and Caesar and say you guys are still down,
That's it.
but
Okay.
that's out the window now. See ya.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Seahawks are coming in. Mr. Geno Smith coming back to his old stomping grounds. And I know BJ's. We're both taking the Seahawks. Let's
There
just
you
get
go. He spoke for me and he's correct. Oh, give me the Seahawks, baby.
Okay. So next game, I am going to say that the Washington Commanders will come back on Sunday and right the ship, and they're favored by 5.5 over the Tennessee Titans. So I'm going to say the Commanders on Sunday to get themselves back on track because they're not looking too good right now. But I think they'll
And,
get themselves right.
and guess what? I'm going to the contrary. Give me the Tennessee Titans at
Oh, you're
plus five
taking the
and a
Titans.
half.
Okay, that's interesting.
I don't think Washington rights the ships. I think Mr. Jaden Daniels has hit a bit of a wall, as they say.
Yeah, he has.
Titans
Yeah.
have a good defense. Give me the Titans. I don't think they're going to win, but I think Washington is not going to cover the 5.5. They'll probably win by like a field goal or something. Give me the Titans.
Gotcha. Let's go out to Baltimore, and I am going to take the Ravens at 2.5. I think they're playing tonight, obviously, Monday Night Football, but uh yeah, I think the Ravens come out on top in the Battle of the Birds there in Baltimore.
Who are they playing again? Because I didn't pick that game.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
Uh,
your fourth game,
my
sir.
yeah, fourth game is going to be Tampa Bay traveling to Carolina. I kind of like what Carolina did against Kansas City. I think that'll carry over. I think Tampa Bay will win, but they will not cover. So give me Carolina at plus 6.5.
So you're taking the points.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. And my last game here. This is going to sound crazy. Well, maybe not. But I'm going to go to Denver Monday Night Football, and
Oh
I'm
yeah, I
actually
wanted
going
to
to
go with
take
that.
the Browns, not to win, but the Broncos are favored by 5.5. So I'm going to take the Browns there with the points. And sir, your fifth game here, your last
We
game.
got the Los Angeles Rams traveling to New Orleans Saints. And the Rams are favored, and I'm going to take the Rams at -2.5.
Interesting. Okay.
I think they got embarrassed by the Eagles, and I think they're going to try to
Yeah.
right that ship. Yeah,
Yeah.
give me the Rams.
Got it. All right. So let's get back to talking about the shit shows. So I thought it'd be fun for Lee J and I to kind of sit back and, just kind of talk about. Oh boy, what's going on
No,
there?
you good.
Okay.
I was trying to put the game on in the background.
Oh, I see. What's going on with if we were the GM, right, for the Jets and the Giants, what we would do, what would it be 3 to 5 things? I think we're gonna do 5. 3 to 5 things that we would
Yeah, I did
do.
5. I did 5.
Yeah, so did I. 5 things that we would do to get our respective teams back on track. And we'll, Legion will go first and I'll go and then we'll talk and whatever. So, sir, you're the GM of the Jets. You got to deal with Mr. Woody.
Cut that Woody off.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Shove it right up his ass.
Oh boy, this is the beer. I'm gonna go get a beer when I'm done with this. So I did drink last night a little bit. Sir, what is number one? What's your first thing that you're gonna do
The
here?
first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this very simple. This is like the lowest thing on the total poll,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it needs to be done because I like what I've seen from Jamie and Sherwood this year. Middle linebacker. I think he plays middle linebacker. I think we have to cut ties with CJ Mosley.
Okay.
A lot of injuries this year.
Right, because he hurt his ankle early on.
Then
right?
he has a neck issue now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw that I think it was a Connecticut newspaper. I'm not 100% sure, but the headline was CJ Mosley out with herniated dick in his neck. Have you ever heard that? You ever heard that before? Herniated. Have you ever had a herniated dick in your neck?
Holy shit!
I don't know if you saw that.
I did not.
I was
That
like,
is
damn.
great.
One time I did have a herniated dick. It was protruding. It really hurt, and it was really hard.
That's what she said.
I think, listen, he came here. Obviously, he signed a big contract. That's part of the reason. But you know what? He's been a good Jet. He's a good veteran. I think I don't know exactly what his contract is, but if he has another year or so, they got to cut ties. We got to move on.
Let me look it up quick.
We got to get Sherwood in there. Maybe look to draft somebody else. But we got to cut ties with Mosley.
So
I hate that I'm saying that, but because he was good in Baltimore, he was for the most part, he was a good Jet. But we need that money.
Well, here's the thing. So we signed the 5-year contract worth $85 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which it included a $7.5 million signing bonus.
Okay.
So here's the thing. His cap hit is $21.4 million. He's earning a base salary of $17 million this year.
Woody got money. He got to go.
His dead cap value is $10.4 million. Wait, I'm sorry.
Also, this is also prefaced on,
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. So in March he signed a 2-year 17.
Yeah, he restructured or something like that.
Restructured. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. And it gave the Jets $8 million in cap savings.
Yeah, he did something to help them get space.
Okay, so
I don't think it's as bad as it maybe would have been originally if he didn't do that this past March.
Gotcha. I got what you.
I think.
Okay.
Even though I still would cut ties with him. Thank you. And I'm not here to he did a great job here. This is not what that. It's just that he's older. He's had a lot of injuries this past year. Sure, I like what I've seen from Sherwood. We have to move on. We have to get younger. We have to get faster. We have to get better.
Yeah.
That would be my first move.
I think you mentioned that earlier in the year too.
Yeah,
So
I did.
yeah.
We have to move on. And unfortunately, I don't get to pay the big bucks, but you're welcome, guys.
Okay. So the first thing I want to do, and I think this is very important, I need to sit down with John Mara and we need to figure out what type of franchise slash team that we want to be going forward. Because historically, the Giants have been known for two things: great defense, great running game. And we don't see any of those things now with this team. I get that this is now a more quarterback heavy league, and I'm going to talk about that later. But I think everybody needs to be on the same page about what type of personnel we're going to want to bring in to get this team, to get this franchise back on the right track. So I think that is the first thing I would do personally. I would go back to maybe being defensive oriented, and I would maybe get in a defensive coach. And I'm going to get to that in my other thing. But I think the first thing that needs to happen, sit down with Mara and figure out how are we going to position this franchise going forward, and then you work from there. So that's the first thing that, because I feel like it starts at the top, right? We just talked about this shit with Johnson. We just talked about Mara. I don't know if he's meddling. I don't really think he's meddling, not in the way that Johnson is, but God, it's funny because Carl shared the clip again from Hard Knocks, and I wonder if Mara every night before he goes to bed, the meme of Wolverine in the bed, and he's got
Oh
the
yes, he's looking
picture.
at the picture.
And I wonder if Mara's doing the thing with doing that with Barkley, but I think that really hurt him. I know it sounds stupid. He's a fucking millionaire several times over, but I don't know, man. I think a part of the Giants like died when Barkley left. I really do. So sit down with Mara and get the shit straightened
Like you
out.
said before, I don't want to beat the Barkley dead horse thing, but you can't tell me that you would have won at least 2 or 3 games with him doing what he was doing if everything was equal.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
not
I'll leave that
and not
at that. I don't
and
really
now
care.
and now look, he's an MVP candidate. So what do you got? I mean, what are you gonna do? All righty, sir.
Number 2 for me is you got to fix that defensive line.
Mm.
You keep Quinn Williams. Unfortunately, Jermaine Johnson got hurt. I love Jermaine Johnson. You keep him. But Javon Kinlaw, he's on a 1-year deal. Get the fuck out of here. You suck. Michael Clemens, see if you could get something for him in a trade. 6th, 7th rounder, something. He get out of here. You got to fix that defensive line, man. It's atrocious. Solomon Thomas, get out of here. You suck too. Fuck off. Oh man, what's that kid? There's another guy. I can't remember his name. I meant to write it down and I forgot. There's someone else that I actually don't. I actually would like him to stay. I can't remember his name right now. It escapes me. But they got to fix that defensive line, man. Will they do it via trade? Draft somebody in the first round, whatever round. They had a good defensive line, I feel, last year, and they traded a couple little pieces. A couple of those pieces left, signed contracts other places. You want to stop the running game? Teams have run all over the Jets this year. You've seen it. We've seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
That 49ers game, the opening game, that guy no one knew of, ran all over the Jets when McCaffrey was out. No one knew who this guy was. We got to fix the defensive line. How you do it? Trade, like I said, draft. You got to fix that line. It's atrocious.
So right now, the starting offensive line is McDonald, Javon Kinlaw,
Yeah.
Keenan Williams, and Hassan Reddick.
Keenan, yeah, Hassan Reddick, I'm done with him. I forgot.
So
He's got to go. He's not. He hasn't re-signed. He's a 1-year con. He got to go. What's that other guy's name you said?
Javon Kinlaw or Keenan
not
Williams?
Kinlaw. I know Kinlaw. He's on a 1-year deal. He's got to get out of here. The other guy after him.
Quinn Williams?
No.
That's all I said.
Damn, there's somebody else.
Okay,
man.
so I'm gonna go with the second. So the second line is Eric Watts, Leonard Taylor III.
Leonard Taylor. That's him.
Okay, there you go.
Leonard Taylor.
That's
Eric Watts, I've seen some nice things from him. He's out of Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. The Taylor guy, that's him. That's him.
Let me give you the other two guys. Solomon Thomas.
No, I already mentioned him. No, he got to
Okay,
go.
and Michael Clemens.
No, he got to. Yeah, he got to go too.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, so I would keep McDonald, the Taylor kid, Williams. Everybody else have a nice day. See ya. Get out of my fucking stadium.
So here's my question. You're not going to be able to do that until you get in order of operations, right? Get the head coach in there. Then they got to figure out what their, who the defensive coordinator is going to be. Then you got to figure out.
This is why to me,
yeah.
this is the perfect thing for me to rank. So
Interesting.
Mosley, to me, Mosley is number 5. That's the least of my worries.
I see what you're
saying. I
saying.
don't want to say D-line's the least of my worries, but like you'll see the other 3, the D-line doesn't surpass to me in my mind the other 3. That's what I mean by that.
So you're doing it that way. Okay,
yes.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. So since I am the GM, I'm in charge of bringing in a head coach. So my next thing, bringing in a new head coach. That's it. I'm sorry. I don't think that. I think Shane and Dable are done. I don't see.
I actually agree with you.
Yeah, I just don't see. I just don't see how they survive the end of the year. So that being said, since I am the new GM, I'm going to come in and I'm going to bring in one of my guys. Guys, it's just we're just
Bill Parcells?
No. Well, here's the thing. No, I'm not going to Belichick. I'm not going to Parcells. I'm not smart enough or into know.
Oh, you actually have a name.
I don't have a name.
Oh, okay.
I have characteristics that I want to see.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Eric Spagnola. I don't know.
C Spagnola? I'm not a fan of his.
Neither
I
am
think he's a very good DC.
Yeah.
Man, he head coach one time in New Orleans, no?
Yes, it
didn't go.
Yeah. I know that's a name that's probably gonna come out there. So here are my characteristics because I don't really have a name. I don't. I don't follow the league.
That's fair.
It's got to be somebody who's young-ish, like in their 40s, but has experience, a lot of experience. So if Brian Flores fits that bill, I don't know if he does or not. Let's see how old he is.
Yeah, I think he's in his late 30s, early 40s.
I mean, and the next thing I'm going to say is going to be like, oh, Will, you should just say Brian Flores. I think they need to be defensive oriented. He's 43. I think the next coach needs to be defensive oriented. Young. Yeah. Defensive oriented, young-ish.
No nonsense.
Coach. Yes. No, I agree.
Because I keep on hearing about this guy, no nonsense.
Yeah.
Doesn't accept that bullshit.
Yeah.
Diva shit.
So, again, I didn't want to say a name, but now that we're talking through, I know he's got a little bit of baggage because of everything that happened last year. And, he's from Brooklyn. I didn't realize
he's from Brooklyn. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. Well, listen, maybe maybe they go after him, It'll be a nice story. Here's the thing, though. And I like the no bullshit thing because if you draft somebody like Sanders, you're going to need somebody in there to be like, we're doing this shit my way. And that's just it. So it's got to be somebody youngish. I think it's got to be somebody defensive oriented, doesn't take shit from everybody and commands a room. I want to be able to run through the fucking wall for this guy. Because I think you kind of need that these days. These people make millions of fucking dollars. You got to find out what motivates these people. And if the past couple of years doesn't motivate you to get better, then I don't fucking know what will. But so yeah, you see the way I'm going here. Talk to ownership. Now I'm going to get a head coach that fits the vision of what the Giants need to do going forward. So, sir, your number 3 thing.
My number 3 is I think the Jets are going to win at least a couple more games. I feel the same way about the Giants. But like I said, we're just playing role play. I'm the Jets GM.
Yeah.
Let's say they don't win any more games. They go 3-14. Good God.
That'd be awful. Get a good draft pick, though.
if you don't feel confident in any of these quarterbacks, I say run it back with Tyrod Taylor because he signed a 2-year deal, if I'm not mistaken. Or let's see what this kid Jordan Travis has that you drafted
Mm,
last year in the 5th round out of Florida
mm.
State that got hurt. Let's not rush into picking somebody because you think you need to pick somebody. You may have a diamond in the rough with Jordan Travis. Who knows? We don't know. Let's see what happens. Tyrod Taylor, and then you play him. I just don't want to rush into this, into this notion of draft one of these guys because everybody else says he's the guy. Look who was at the top of the charts this year? Beck, Georgia. He's done nothing but shit the bed
Yeah,
recently.
yeah.
No one's talking about him anymore.
Nope.
There's only two quarterbacks you hear now. Shador Sanders, Deion Sanders' son, and Cam Ward out of
Yep.
Miami.
That's it.
No one
Not a,
else.
not a lot there.
Not a lot there. I still like the kid out of Ole Miss, straight. But what do I know? I don't know
Mm.
shit. So let's see what we have in this kid. Let's not be so this get rich quick scheme, like I've always said in football, doesn't it doesn't work, man. You can't show me where it works. You can't show me. Let's see what you got. They drafted Jordan Travis, and granted, that was the old regime. They're out of here now. Let's just see what we got in this kid. You
Mhm.
never freaking know. And
Yeah,
Tyrod
it's
Taylor, yeah,
true.
he gets hurt a lot, but you know what? He's a serviceable quarterback. He's
Yeah.
serviceable. Maybe play him the first 6 games. Let Jordan Travis. Jordan Travis is learning this year. Learn a few games next year, and then throw him in there. See what happens. I could accept that even if they're losing, but they're trying. I'm okay with that. I just don't want them to rush into somebody they think that because everybody else is talking about him, that's who they need to draft. That's what I don't want to happen. I think that's the mistake that happens with all these NFL teams. I'm sorry.
You,
That's
you're
my number
gonna
3.
you're gonna like this. The latest PFF mock draft. This is from. Let's just play along with this. Let me see
Fucking
what
mock
this.
draft.
I know. But
Mock these.
yeah, I know. So they have the Jets picking number 7, and they have them taking Jalen Milroe from
Oh,
Alabama.
that guy, come on, bro. We talked about this guy 2 years. This guy's not an NFL quarterback. You and I spoke about him in your living room that he's not
Right.
an NFL quarterback. I
Yeah.
remember that conversation.
Yeah. So,
Oh, boy.
well, here's again mock. Whatever mock. I get that, but listen again. Only 3 quarterbacks are in this first round. What did we say last week? The depth is not the same as it was last year. And the Giants had a chance to take a guy last year,
A few
but
guys.
it didn't. Many guys. So that didn't
That's
sound
what I
good.
wanted to tell you, too, real quick about the Giants. Like, it's almost like they're forced to pick somebody this year.
Oh, there they are. Yeah,
If they stick with Dayball and Shane. Whatever.
they're gonna be. And I'm gonna get into the quarterback thing, but let me get there. So number 3, I think you need, and this is simple. This probably listen. The offensive line has been better this year, but and this is both sides of the line. You got to control the line, as they say, right? So both sides of the offensive line and the defensive line, you have to make additions that are gonna just keep the momentum, especially on the offensive line, especially if you do the stupid thing and throw the kid in there right away. You have to be able to protect him. So I would say yes, make sure both lines are fortified, but you're probably going to have to, if you can improve the offensive line because you're going to have your $1 million quarterback back there at some point, whether it's next year or in 2 years. You got to be able to protect the kid. So in the meantime, get that cohesion, right? With the offensive line. So far, so good this year. Continue it in the offseason. Add to that. This way, you come in next year, continue off And then by the time this kid starts, whoever it is, Cam Ward, Sanders, I don't fucking know. Then, hey, we're good on the offensive line. We're giving this kid time to throw. So fortify the lines on both sides, but particularly fortify your offensive line. So that's my number 3 thing. Sir, you're number 4.
I did a kind of like a combo thing here.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
My first one is I think they need to try to make a big trade to get multiple draft picks.
Interesting. Okay.
Who that person is, I'm not really sure yet.
Like a position wise.
Yeah, position wise, where they could get a lot of value out of it. And I hate to say who I'm about to say.
You may trade them away for draft picks.
Ahmed Garner. Used to be called Sauce, but we call him Ahmed now.
By the way, God,
I don't.
continue.
Me watching a lot of his film and there's a lot of games this year. I hate to say this because I was a big fan of his. Right now, if you was to ask me my honest opinion, guns to my head, I don't think he's as good as people think he is. I'll leave it at that.
Interesting.
So if you trade him, get a couple high draft picks, maybe first round, maybe a second and a third round, I say you do that. But if not, then my slash is we're going to go to what you were saying. Your previous point was coaches, and I have them in order.
Oh, okay.
And after listening to a lot of talk show, sometimes I don't agree with these talk show hosts, but they actually convinced me. And somebody moved up to the top of my charts as who I would, and this is actually listening to former football players talk about this guy.
Sure.
And he's become my, I think last week I had Gruden at the top of my list. This guy has jumped up and he's at the top of my list. And you mentioned him before. Brian Flores. All I hear about this guy, he's no nonsense. He doesn't take guard. And let's take all the other stuff off the table. You know, all the crap that he's going through with the NFL. Let's take that off the table. I don't care about that. I don't know about that. It's irrelevant to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what the Jets need. Somebody to come in here, no nonsense. Like this is, if you want to win, this is what we need to do. And you need to listen. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
It would be him. Second on my list is Mike Vrabel.
Vrabel. Yep.
I just don't think he'll come here because of his Patriots ties. And then third is John Gruden. Yes, you know, he won in Tampa Bay. He took the Raiders to a Super Bowl. Besides that, he really do a lot of winning. I just think he has all those attributes to help a team like the Jets.
Sure. Yeah.
And I don't know why people convince me with Brian, because I don't usually let that happen, but they had a lot of good points. Like I said, Flores, Vrabel, and Gruden, the trade. That's my fourth.
I mean, it could be a situation where the Giants and the Jets are going after the same guys.
Yeah.
That's probably what's going to happen.
It could be.
So
could be.
Sir, are you sure you don't want Rex Ryan? Because
come on, bro. See, I was trying to stay off of that.
No. We can't.
His begging veneer, facelift ass. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Let's take a time out.
Listen, we
30-second time out.
Hold on, real quick.
Yes, yeah.
I love Rex Ryan. What he did here, he brought him to 2 AFC championships. Blah blah blah. But we forget what he did the last 4 years while he was here. They sucked. Now he's going on this, like, whatever you call that, like a parade, like, give me the
media tour.
Nobody,
yeah.
Get it. Come on. Bro, have you ever seen anything like this before?
Never. That's why I want to take the 30 seconds.
Come on, man.
We're doing it. We're talking about him.
Come on.
I just want to read to everybody what he said. When I look around, I know nobody's better than me.
Oh, God. Just worry about you and your wife's feet.
Jesus Christ. By the way, if you trade Sauce Gardner, guess who his backup is right now? Quantez Stiggers.
No, you're my man, Quantez Stiggers. That's my guy right there. It's funny that you say that because that triggered something in my mind. There was a question asked
Oh,
on, I don't remember what
shit.
show it was it this week, last week.
Yeah.
People asked this question:
Oh,
why
shit.
do late draft picks play harder than people that are actually quote unquote better because they were drafted in the first round?
We know
You
why.
know why? It's why would you even ask that question?
That's a
It's a really
stupid
stupid
fucking
question.
question.
Exactly. These people, this is why I would love, this is why, what did I say? Was either, I don't know if it was last week, but I've said this quite often. It doesn't matter the talent you have on your team. I've always believed in this.
Mm-hmm.
I really do believe this. You can beat anybody if your team plays together for each other and they play hard. I really believe that. And these teams nowadays just think that all that wins is superstars. That's not the truth. I don't believe that. I never will believe that. And you can't convince me otherwise. Does
Mm-hmm.
it work? Sure. But if you play well together, know each other, you could beat anybody. That's why they say any given Sunday, because you never know. Talent always doesn't win out. And you could always draft another cornerback that there's a dime a dozen everywhere within the draft. And I think this guy has taken a couple steps back. Speaking of Ahmed Garner, because I will not call him Sauce anymore. It's over for me.
I love that.
Get rid of that nickname. We're gonna call you by your real name. Getting dusted on go routes, getting dusted on slant routes. Come on, bro. You're supposed to be the guy. I didn't say that. You told me that. They told me
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
My opinion. That's all it is.
Ah, shit. There was something I was going to say about Sauce. Well, I'm sorry, Ahmed. I can't fucking remember. Anyway, all right. My number 4 thing, and this is a pretty important one, but I don't think it's more important than the 5th one, the top thing. But they're connected, and you'll see where I'm going. I think maybe you got to get this quarterback thing right. I don't know what you do. You know what? If you want to throw Cam Ward and fucking Sanders in a fucking octagon and close the cage and let them like go at it, I don't know. Here's my thing. I want to say I'm leaning more towards Sanders right now, but my problem is his dad. That's
That's
a
fair.
big fucking red flag because I'm already hearing rumblings that no, he doesn't want his son playing in New York. And it's just like, are we going to do this shit? Is this going to be another fucking Eli Manning situation where Eli got drafted by the Saints, but they didn't want him playing there, and they forced a trade to the Giants? So is this going to be a problem in reverse? That's a big red flag for me because if you're going to set this franchise on this path to stability, you cannot have this outside factor strong arming his way into deciding what is best for his son. And don't you fucking dare hire him as coach.
Mm-mm.
Fucking do it. Absolutely not.
It's not even that. It's like we always talked about, and I'm a big component of this. Whoever you draft, they can't start, man. They
Mm-hmm.
cannot start. Find the veteran, let them play, let them learn, and then bring them in the next year. This shit's not working by putting them in there. The Giant, if you started him right now, let's say he was drafted this year. What is there anything on this Giants team to say that he's going to be successful?
No, absolutely not.
So why do it? You're just going to destroy the kid, no matter whose son he is. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I don't know why teams continue to do this, man, and it's proven that it doesn't freaking work. It doesn't work. What's another year? Who cares? Just wait. If you can win the next 2 to 10 years, that's what matters. Oh boy.
So figure out the quarterback position, and I'll talk about my top one after Lee J goes for his top thing because they're connected, and Lee J kind of already in some ways said it, but we'll get it.
My
I'll get it.
top one for the Jets, and I've slept on this. I'm not even joking. I've thought about this, and there's not a lot of other names I know, but I know this name. He
Hmm.
calls college football games. He's intelligent. He knows a lot of football. He knows college football. He knows NFL. The next GM of the New York Jets should be Louis Riddick. Reddick,
Yeah, we talked
hundred
about him
percent,
last week. Yeah.
100. This guy's knowledgeable. I was listening to call a college football game this weekend. Can't remember the game that he was calling. It was him and I think he was doing it with Bob Wischusen, who calls
Hmm.
Jets games.
Yeah.
The guy knows what he's talking about, man. He does Monday Night Football. He needs to get a GM job. I think he'll be good at the job. Like I said, I think he knows what he's talking about. He's intelligent. The Jets need to hire this guy. Take a chance on him, give him a shot, and see what he does. There's not much I need to get into about this. That's my opinion about this guy, and that's who the Jets need to hire. Period. Stop.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, we both agreed last week that we thought the Giants should have hired him when they were interviewing when Gettleman got the job, and that turned out to be a fucking disaster. So, yeah, why not give the guy a chance and and see what happens going forward. So, I definitely agree with that. So, my number one thing, and this is to help the transition. You draft the quarterback, whether it's Sanders or Cam Ward. Sort of something happened on the TV screen. Is that
Yeah,
why
this
you?
guy dropped a. He was wide open and he dropped a freaking pass. I'm like,
I'm like,
what the f
I'm like
for a
looking at,
first down? I'm like, come on.
I'm looking at my screen
He's
here,
wide
and I
open. He
see.
dropped the ball. First
Yeah,
down.
I don't have the
Come
game up.
on. Anyway, go ahead.
So my number one thing is you need to go out there and find a capable veteran QB to start next year to help with the transition to the rookie quarterback in 2026. And the Giants, and this goes back to number 5. What kind of organization do we want to be to set ourselves up for success? Okay. The way we set ourselves up for success is we're going to draft this quarterback and he's going to sit his ass down for a fucking year and he's going to learn. This is why I would rather them take Cam Ward because if they take Sanders, there's going to be so much pressure to start that kid right away. I would say Kate, take a Cam Ward, get up. I don't know who you get. I don't know. We joked around earlier about Darno. Lee J does not like that idea. But bring in somebody that this kid can sit behind and learn from for a year, and then you sign him to a 2-year contract. He comes in next year to be the quarterback, the starter, and then when the this guy takes over in his second year, then the veteran goes to being the backup. So this way he can be on the field, on the sideline, and still be a teacher to this kid. You're gonna have to find somebody who's gonna be okay with doing that. Again, I don't know who that is
I
right
got I
now.
got a guy for you.
Go ahead.
And the reason why I don't like Darnold because he's still young and you don't want him to do well. Because now that's the problem
Yeah,
they're having in
yeah,
Minnesota. He's doing
right.
well.
Yeah,
What are we gonna do next year with him?
yeah, that's a
He's a
good
he's a
point.
perfect middle age, according to football age, maybe mid-30s. I don't know his contract. I'm just this is just someone within his lane. Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I can. That's a good
Somebody
one.
like him.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, and Andy
Because he knows
Dalton
he's not starting again. He's not going to run
figure.
another
Yeah,
franchise,
right.
but
Yeah,
he still wants to play football.
right. That's a
And he
good.
doesn't mind
Yeah,
mentoring. He's doing it now.
right. That's
He's
a
done
good
it
pick.
before.
Yeah, I like
Somebody
that.
like him.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know how many of those guys are out there though. I'm just trying to
That's
think off
that's
the top of
also
my
that's
head.
also true.
Yeah, like I don't want to see somebody like Gordon Minshew in here.
Oh,
No,
stop.
I don't want to see
Stop.
somebody like that. I don't want to
He's out for the rest of
see
the year anyway. He got like a torn
right.
something shoulder or some shit. Who cares?
Mm. I'm trying to think. I don't really.
I'm
I'm
trying
not
to think.
really.
Run down in my freaking.
I'm just trying to see top backup.
It can't be somebody that's even in their late 20s where they have a chance to be like, if they show something, they could be the starter.
Yeah,
It's got
I
to be
mean, so
somebody like early 30s to mid 30s.
do you go with a Jacoby Brissett? Maybe
Somebody like
potentially.
maybe even because I think this guy's maybe 30, 31, maybe like a Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, yeah, you could
Somebody like him,
you could
even
do
though I think he
that.
signed a 2-year contract. I'm not 100% sure. Um, they had somebody already like Tyrod Taylor, but obviously he left and went to the Jets.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody like someone somewhere around there like that. You can't pick anybody in their late 20s. You can't like mid to late 20s. I don't think that works. That has actually a chance to be a starter again. That doesn't work for me.
What about a Carson Wentz?
Uh yes, somebody yes, I could see that. Somebody like him, I agree with. I could do that.
That might be, you know, I mean, do you bring in somebody like Joe Flacco too?
He might be a little bit on the older end. If I consider him, he'd probably be one of my last choices.
Yeah.
I prefer the other guys that we already mentioned.
Carson Wentz is only 31,
Yeah,
by the way.
I'd rather pick one of those guys.
What about Joshua Dobbs?
I could see that. I
He's
could see that.
29 though, but he's not.
I
I
could
mean,
see
we
that.
know
I
he's
could see
not.
that.
Yeah, we know he's not he would be a good guy to well, he's going to be the starter because I don't think Purdy's playing Sunday. So, unless the 49ers are like, "Hey, DJ,
Mm-hmm.
why don't you what about a Mason Rudolph?"
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that as well.
So,
Somebody like that.
yeah, it's got yeah, I agree. It's got to be
That they do want to
guys.
play, that they want to be a starter, but they know that they're not going to run the franchise.
Yeah.
They know what they're there for.
You've also got a Marcus Mariota is another name.
Ugh, I'm done with him. Maybe even the Jameis. I'll take Mariota off. I will go with like Winston.
I thought about him too because he's on this list. I'm looking at this list.
I will
He's
go with
30
like a
years old.
Winston or
Yeah.
1-year contract. Come in, be the starter,
Eh,
tutor. I would
Jesus
actually.
Christ.
I like that. I like that.
Can you imagine? Oh my
Mariota. I'm done with that
God.
guy.
I just can't imagine Winston ever.
Quoting Eminem and eating dubs. Sausage.
Dude,
What a banana head.
good Lord. I don't know. Maybe he has a direct line to God. I don't know the way he
Oh
talks.
God. And
It's
on that note,
possible. Yes. Yeah. So that's going to do it for episode number 24. And again, like I said earlier, guys, I think this is going to be the last time we take deep dives on these teams, unless
teams.
something, yeah, teams, because this is the state of football here in the great state of New York and New Jersey. Yeah, I mean, unless something miraculous happens or groundbreaking, like Rodgers gets cut or something like that, then we're not going to really go into too much depth about these teams going forward. So that is going to do it for us this week. We'll be back here next Tuesday. And I am Will Hernandez here for Lee J. Perilla, and we will see you next week. Peace out.
Later.